Alright, so my friend decided that they don't want to call me because they hate me. I feel like this never sticks out right. My friend decided that they hate me and they don't want to call me back, so I'm just gonna talk to you guys on here because I want to. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to hey pink cow. I just want to talk because I love talking. I talk to myself all the time because I'm low-key insane. But I yap, bruh. I need a yap. This mask is low-key itchy. Me too, real. But I need to talk. I need to talk. Because recently I need to change masks. Yeah, this mask is really uncomfortable. It's not really uncomfortable. It's just low-key itchy. Why is it so itchy? Okay, 1 second. I don't know which mask to change into. Okay, this mask is pretty comfortable, but it is low-key kind of scary. It's kind of scary. My friend made this for me. I really like the snout. But I feel like it looks kind of spooky because it doesn't have eyes. But anyway, so I need to yap a little bit because what the hecky. So, as you guys know, I identify as a Therian. If you don't know what a Therian is, you can Google it, but I can give a kind of an explanation, but I kind of not that good at explaining things. Basically, a Therian is somebody who identifies as an animal involuntarily. Well, they believe that they are an animal somewhat, whether it's mentally, soul-wise, physical, whatever, due to experiences that are involuntary. So, sorry guys, I'm getting notifications. So, a Therian is somebody who identifies as an animal due to involuntary experiences, actions, urges, feelings. Yeah, so it's not really a choice. They kind of feel like an animal and act like an animal, and because that they do that, they identify as an animal, and they can express themselves wearing masks, doing quads, to make themselves feel better about their animal, to make them feel more like themselves. Because they are animals at heart, in the soul, or whatever. I feel like that was kind of a good explanation, but if that didn't really make sense to you, you can just look it up. But basically, I wanted to just kind of talk about my experience with thananthropy and kind of just reassure. This is kind of for myself to just kind of reassure myself about my identification and me saying that I am a Therian, because I am not gonna lie to you guys, I do doubt my thananthropy a lot, because I know that there are a lot of fake Therians out there. There are a lot of miscommunication and information around the community, and I just kind of wanted to talk about my experience and just kind of share it to make myself feel better about my identity and kind of make myself feel a bit more confident about it, because I do doubt it sometimes. I do sometimes feel like I'm just gaslighting myself into believing it just because I want to, which is kind of weird, but I feel like a lot of Therians understand. I kind of just gaslight myself into believing it. That's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm not actually doing that. At least I hope. If I am, then that'd be really sad. Because I feel pretty confident and happy in my identification as my theotypes. And it makes me feel more like myself, which is important when you identify as a Therian. Alright, so. ASMR? Therian ASMR? Okay, buddy. I'm sorry. Did chat turn off? I think chat turned off. Whatever. I can't deal with this. It turns off every single live. They don't believe that I'm older than 13, even though I literally am. And I've literally verified my account to them. Them meaning YouTube. Boy. Anyway. I love this now. Sorry, I just got, like, low-key really distracted. My friend made this mask for me. And I'm low-key McLovin' it. Okay, shut up. Anyway. So, I identify my theotypes. I identify as a wolf. I'm not sure what type of wolf. I'm pretty sure it's like gray wolf. But it could be like coastal wolf or eastern wolf. I'm also like questioning which one it is. I don't even know if I have like a specific species of wolf. I think just like wolf. Wolf. Because most wolves have the same like personality, I guess, and like traits, behaviors. So it makes sense. I feel like if I just say that I'm like a wolf and then just like kind of broad. But whatever. I hear somebody outside. Okay. So, yeah, so identify as a wolf, and a orange Maine Coon so far. I'm a little bit iffy about my orange Maine Coon stereotype just because there's basically only one thing that is like me. That's like, I'm like, that's literally me. And that's, I'll share that because that's kind of like the whole reason. And then also, I'm pretty sure I have a Border Collie and German Shepherd stereotype. My Border Collie, I have been questioning if my Border Collie is just a kin, or like a kin type, or like a link type. Just because, like, I kind of just chose it. I kind of was like, this is literally so me. And then I was like, wanted to be one, and I was like, this is so cute. I love Border Collies so much. I want to be one. They're literally the cutest freaking thing ever. And I just felt really connected to the animal, and I got very species euphoric when I like looked at it and acted like it. So I was like, that's me, I guess. I guess. My bad, chat. But yeah. My bad. I need to just keep on talking. I keep on getting distracted. So yeah, my 4 stereotypes are a wolf, orange cat, orange Maine Coon cat specifically, German Shepherd, and Border Collie. The only one that I am 100% confident on that if I am a Therian would be my stereotype is a wolf, because I was, okay, now we're gonna get into the, like, reasons of why I identify as a Therian and why I decided to, like, why I not decided to be a Therian, but decided to, like, how I figured out that I was a Therian, basically. Because, like I said, in order to be a Therian, you need to, like, experience things involuntarily. Okay, I think we're good. I'm scared that somebody's gonna walk in about me talking about me identifying as an animal, and they're just gonna be like, what the hecky? Anyway, so, So yeah, in order to be a Therian, you have to have some sort of involuntary experience, action, urges, feeling. It could be like anything. You have to have some sort of it in order to identify as a Therian. And so when I found out what a Therian was, and I felt like that could possibly be me because I had deep connection to a wolf and later other animals, I felt like since this could be me, I was like, okay, I need to do some sort of research. So I found out, like I said, I need to have that involuntary action experience thing. And when I found out what a Therian was, I was like, okay, so if I am a Therian, since this feels like it could be me, what like animal would I identify with? And I immediately thought wolf because wolves have been my favorite animal ever since I was little. Ever since I was just an little baby. I like not little baby, but like in like first grade, I got this friend, and in the second grade, I had like this friend group of like 4 different people. In second grade, I was like 7 or 8, I think 8, 8 or 7 or 8 is when it started. My obsession with wolves. It was, like 2018, I think, is when I was in second grade. 2018 around, I was in like second, third grade. Yeah, 2018, I was in second grade. Sorry, I'm like, so I was like, and being kind of like cringe was like kind of in. So my friends were like obsessed with wolves, and so I got obsessed with wolves too. But I like genuinely thought that I was like part wolf. Like I thought I was so much different than other people. Like I would dream of being a wolf. Not like genuinely dream, but like I really wanted to be a wolf, and like I would make wishes. I'd be like, let me turn into a wolf. Like whenever somebody would be like, if you could have any superpower would be, I'd be like, I would want to turn into any animal, like specifically to be able to turn into a wolf. And me and my friends would play as wolves. We would like at recess we would do like role plays of like there's the mom and the kids, and the mom would have to go out and hunt, and the kids would make a den and stuff, and we just did that every day at recess, and it was so fun, and like it was like those were my people, my pack, and I was just obsessed with wolves. Okay, I genuinely thought that I was like part wolf. I would like go outside in the cold and be like, I don't need a jacket because wolves don't need a jacket, obviously. And my mom would be like, put on a jacket. You're not a wolf. No. Whatever. Anyway, then when I got to like 4th grade, my obsession, so I was kind of obsessed with wolves for like 2 years, and I like in those 2 years when I was a kid, genuinely thought I was a wolf, genuinely thought that I was different. Then I got to like 4th grade, and I was like, okay, my like kind of being like preppy and popular was getting more popular on like social media and stuff, and so I kind of like threw that side of me away, that being obsessed with animals and being literally obsessed with wolves and like being a wolf. I kind of just threw it away and kind of just like got tired of it and stopped pretending, and I wanted to grow up and be cool like everybody does. And then, so I would kind of like that, and I kind of just like wanted to be cool until I got to like, and then, yeah, and then I wanted to be cool, and then like the summer of 6th grade, I found out, it was the summer after 6th grade, it was like August or something, and I found out what a Therian was, and I was like, oh, what? And I just got like so obsessed with them. I would just watch the videos of them and like watch them make masks and do quadrobics and like tell the camera or like the people about their experiences and how they identify as an animal. And I was like, this is so fucking, I'm not allowed to swear, this is so freaking cool. Like, this is genuinely so cool. And I was like, got really obsessed with Therians, and I was like, this literally is me. I identify as a wolf, and then I just felt that kind of like happiness. Later found out, I feel like it was species euphoria, of kind of being able to express myself like that again. And so I was like really excited, and I got really excited, and I started doing quads and stuff, and like kind of just like acting like an animal. I thought it was kind of weird at first, but then I realized like I like expressing myself, and I just got kind of like happy and excited to be able to express myself like that. Ow. Wait, okay. Sorry, I had like a sweatshirt, and I was like, where did it go? I'm not gonna put it on though. I just wanted to know where it went, because it was not where I left it. Anyway, so then I was like, low-key, what the heck? But then 7th grade started, and I was like, kind of that urge to be cool and popular and liked came back, and I kind of just forgot about my identity and like identifying as an animal as a whole. I kind of just forgot about it and just like kind of pushed it to the side. But then around like November, December, it came back to me, and I was like, okay, this literally came back to me, and I feel kind of sad when I don't like, when I kind of push it away and stop like expressing myself like that. So I think this identity is important to me. I know this identity is important to me, so I need to do more research about it and see if I'm a Thean, because that is important to me, clearly, because it's coming back to me. And so I did more research, and I found out that you can still be a Therian if you don't feel connected all the time. You can still be a Therian if your identity is, you know, like not as like full, like if you just like partly do it. Because I was just doubting myself. I was like, I don't know if I am a Therian, because like I don't genuinely think I'm an animal. And so then I did more research, and then I also like kind of reflected self-reflected on myself, and I was like, all right, I need to look kind of inside myself to see if I am a Therian. I need to see what I do, and I found some like things that show wolf behavior, like having a pack, of being very kind of like family oriented, and being very close to my friends and wanting to keep them. Yeah. There's just other kind of like dog things that I do. I don't like, I have a whole notes page about it, because I can't think about it off the top of my head. For me, it was kind of less of like actions that I had. It was kind of more like, once I started expressing myself in that way, I got like triggered urges and triggered shifts. I did start getting shifts too, or what I believe is shifts. I kind of just got into that I kind of got into that mindset of being the animal that like a wolf. Since I have more than one stereotype, it was more than one animal too that I kind of got into the mindset of, and I kind of like shifted into it, and I was like, yeah, this is low-key cool, and I was like, yup, this is me. And then like I just felt fully animal in that moment. I didn't feel human. I didn't feel like, I just felt like my animal self, and I felt happy, and I felt free, and that's kind of like what like clicked in my brain when I was like, yeah, I think I'm a Therian. I didn't really have any like actions that I constantly do, I feel like, other than be like family oriented and like love my family and have a pack. There are things that I do that are wolf like. Let me find my notes app. Oh yeah, so the main thing of why I identify, so that's kind of my journey identifying as a Therian. Now I'm going to tell you guys kind of how or why I identify as each of my stereotypes. So for the wolf, like I said, I was super connected to them when I was little. Like, I genuinely thought that I was a wolf when I was little, and I thought that I was, like, special because of it. I wasn't that special, because there's a whole entire community about it, and I just thought that I was so different than everybody else. And so I was like, yeah, this is me. Hey. And then, so, yeah, like, past, I was just super connected to it and, like, genuinely thought I was. And then things that I do in the future that remind me of my, like, that, you know, things I do currently that involve my stereotype as a wolf is, just kind of getting urges to do things. I mean, I also do, I'm trying to think, bruh. I don't know how to word it. Um, urges that I have urges to get on all fours / close to the ground. I get, like, urges to do quads. Urges to bite. I get, like, sometimes when I get really excited. And when I get really excited, I kind of, like, squeal. Or not really squeal, but, like, kind of like how dogs, like, whine when they get really excited and they, like, get zoomies. I get zoomies. And so that's why I was like, yeah, I think that can have correlation to my wolf stereotype. But as I kind of progressed with my theranthropy, I did kind of realize that some of my wolf, like, actions that I did were kind of amplified and were kind of, like, more exciting and kind of, but at the same time, a little, like, I've had kind of more, like, wild, urges, like, urges to be outside and be in the forest, and I felt, like, my species euphoria, like that. But I've also felt that being just in my room and, like, kind of being like a domesticated animal. So I was like, okay, well then maybe I'm also a dog Therian. And so I kind of looked more into that. And I kind of, like I said, I got zoomies. And I was like, I mean, that's something that wolves can get too. So I was like, yeah, I think maybe I'm still trying to decide if my dog stereotype is an actual separate stereotype or if it's just my wolf stereotype seeming a little bit more domesticated. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. And it's okay not to know. So, yeah. Okay, that was cringe. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Okay, I have to, like, think, guys. I'm getting distracted. Anyway. So, I was like, okay, so I think I have, like, a dog stereotype. So then I started looking into dog breeds that could possibly be. I mean, so I was, like, thinking that this animal, like, this part of me was not a wolf. Because why? Because it was very much more energetic, I feel like. A little bit more domesticated, better at following rules, a little bit more, like, obedient, I guess, which kind of sounds. So I looked into, like, intelligent, loyal, energetic dogs, and the first one that came up was, any guesses? Border Collies. Border Collies are literally, like, the most intelligent, most athletic. They're literally insane. So I was like, oh, Border Collies, I've heard of that before. And I kind of, like, looked into it more, and I was like, yeah, low-key, I might be a Border Collie Therian. And another thing that really helps me find out if I have a stereotype is literally just looking at the animal. Looking at the animal, looking at like pictures or videos, especially of my stereotype. I always, not always, but I usually get kind of like this silly little feeling of feeling happy and myself and just kind of feeling free, I guess. And that is species euphoria. Makes me feel more like my animal self, and it made me really happy. And I saw like border collies, and I just kind of like got the urge to freaking do animalistic things. When I look at wolves and when I look at border collies, I get urges to express myself like that, like getting all on fours and biting and running around, and it gives me species euphoria, and it gives me those urges, and kind of like, I don't really know how to describe it. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at describing things, but I low-key just got the urge to like be freaking wild and be an animal and be me. And so that was kind of the hints that I knew that those were my stereotypes, because it literally gave me species euphoria. It made me feel like myself. Like, seeing myself as those animals made me feel like myself, which is my identity and the feeling of being that and stuff. And so, yeah, I feel like that makes sense, but it also might not. I'm kind of just throwing words out of my mouth at this point. And then, so I'm not 100% sure my German Shepherd stereotype. The only really thing that points to that one is that I get species euphoria when I look at it. Like, I just, when I look at my animal, I get urges to do animalistic things. And that is my involuntary experience with German Shepherds, is literally I just, like, looked at one and I was like, and I just, like, started tweaking and I wanted to be one. But another thing that was also, that happened for German Shepherd is one time it was this really, really bad case of zoomies, bro. I had like a soda or something, so it like enhanced it. And my zoomies literally, it happens when I get sugar. Everybody gets kind of like a sugar rush, but that's what it is for animals too. They kind of just get high levels of energy. And like dogs, they get high levels of energy, and in order to like exert that, they do zoomies and they just run around in circles and stuff. And so I got really energetic, and I kept on thinking like I need to be a German Shepherd. Like, it was so weird. I was just like, I need to run really fast, and I just kept on envisioning myself running. And when I envisioned myself running, I envisioned myself as a German Shepherd running. It was kind of from like a third person view though. Like, it was like a top shot, or it was like in my mind. Like, I needed to run like a German Shepherd. I don't like it, that's so random because all dogs run the same. They have 4 legs. So it's like, but I just kept on envisioning myself as a German Shepherd. Like, I need to be a German Shepherd. I need to right now. I was getting so excited, and like, it was actually like very kind of like painful mentally. I was like crying because like I needed something so bad and I couldn't get it because literally I'm a human. And I was like, I just need to be myself, right? Like, I just need like, I was like tweaking because I had so much energy. And so I just like, that energy was kind of going into my brain, and I was like, yeah, going insane. And I just like kept on like needing to exert this energy zoomies like a dog in order to like, I just wanted to, and I felt the urge to do that. And I was like, that's kind of furry. And so I was like, another thing too is I got the urge to call my friends when I did it. I don't know if that was just because I wanted to call my friends to show them that I was tweaking, or because I wanted to be by my pack. Because I see my friends or my theory friends as my pack. And so, yeah. I just wanted to be by them when I was excited and felt most like an animal, so, yeah. And so then I just, like, went outside and I just started sprinting. And I was like, I'm a German Shepherd. I'm literally a dog, bro. And, yeah. Yeah. I also just see myself more as a German Shepherd. I love being a silly little German Shepherd. I just like want to be one. It might be more like a kin type or a link type more than the stereotype, just because I don't have a lot of like evidence pointing to that I am one. So my Border Collie and German Shepherd, I'm not 100% sure on them, because I mean, I like identifying as one and I like the idea of me being one, but there is just not, like, I feel comfortable and connected. I feel connected to the animals. I feel comfortable with identification as one. I just don't have a lot of, like, actions. I mean, I have actions. I definitely act like a dog a lot, and my friends are literally, like, have told me that, but I don't know. So I feel like they are my stereotype. I'm just kind of confused right now. I feel like I just, like, am doubting myself, and it kind of sucks because I feel like I'm just lying to myself right now that I'm not who I am. That doesn't make sense. after I leave the live, I'm probably just gonna do a few, like, some more, sorry, I love this mask. A few more, maybe watch some videos on theory and therapy and kind of do a little bit more research to see. I was hoping that maybe some people could join this live and help me, tell me if I am a Therian or maybe if I'm something else, but my chat turned off and there's only one person in here. Whoever you are, actually, I think I can see. Yep, Pink Cow. I love you. Thank you for staying in my live and listening to me. Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Hey. Anyway. And then last and not least, my last stereotype is an orange Maine Coon cat. I have a little mask right here. This is my orange Maine Coon cat. I didn't really ever see myself as a cat. I see myself kind of as a more energetic, outgoing person. Less of, like, kind of, I see myself more as, like, a dog type person than a cat type person. Specifically, because, like, I am, like, dog Therian. And so I was like, I don't really think I have a cat stereotype. But then I kind of, like, I don't know, like, I never really considered it at all, and then I saw this one video of a cat, like, walking, and it was very, like, cautious and, like, elegant, and its tail, it was a Maine Coon cat, and its tail was, like, and I was, like, literally mesmerized, bro. I was, like, and that literally triggered, that just movement of the tail and movement of the cat triggered me into, like, this shift type, like, mindset of just immediately thinking that I was a cat, and I just kind of started walking around like a cat and, like, literally fucking mesmerized, freaking, I was, like, mesmerized, and I was just like, wow, wowza, and I was literally, it was crazy. And so then I was like, okay, well, that just happened, so I think I might have a cat stereotype. And so I looked more into it, and I looked more into, like, the actions, behaviors of a cat and how they kind of act, and I did see some things that cats do that related to me. Like, they like to be up high, like on counters, fridges, cat trees, and I kind of figured that I love to climb and do that stuff too. So I was like, yup. And they I feel like my personality, I don't know if my stereotype, like, being a Therian, I don't know if it affects my personality. Like, I don't know if my stereotypes are in my borderline of personality. I like to believe that it is. I like to think that I do act like a dog in my normal personality, being silly, goofy, and loyal, and I think I am. I do think that my dog stereotypes are definitely reflecting my personality, and also my cat stereotype, I believe, is reflected in my personality, because I low-key can have trust issues sometimes, and since I have a dog and a cat stereotype, it's kind of like two battling sides inside of me, sort of, like, there's part of me that just really wants to trust people and just kind of, like, go with the flow and be silly and goofy and just be a dog, and then I am usually like that, but sometimes I just kind of need to be cautious and watch from my spot and like not interact, just like watch everybody and see how everybody else interacts with other people to see if I like them. So it depends. I usually don't act like that though. I mostly just act like that when I meet. Like it depends. If I don't like somebody, I do that. If I do like somebody, then I go up and I'm like, I'm embarrass myself in front of everybody, but whatever. It's okay. I love being goofy. I love being a little silly dog. See, that just like just calling myself a silly dog makes me feel euphoric, and like that's literally me, guys. And so like oh yeah, oh my gosh, I was like moving my feet. Another thing that I do is I move my feet when I get excited. And I think that like when I'm like, especially when I'm like laying down, I tap one of my feet up and down like a tail. And so that's something that I do that I love doing. So yeah, I do have a lot of things I do that are like that, other than just like being really connected to them and obsessed with them, and like other than just literally feeling like that animal and feeling very connected to that animal and feeling like species euphoric when I look at the animal or act like the animal or look like the animal. I also do have some actions or things that I do slash like my personality that I do that can reflect onto those animals, or those animals reflect on me otherwise. The main one that I am concerned about that I don't really have any like actions that I do or like personality wise is wolf. The only thing that is keeping my identity as a wolf is that I was convinced that I literally was a wolf when I was little, and that was just like the immediately first thing that I thought of when I thought that I was a Therian. So yeah, I just kind of yapped for like 40 minutes straight, so I think I'm about to like leave. I kind of explained myself. I do also just really want to do some research to see if I can still like if I can still be a Therian, even if like my wolf. I want to just research like wolf personality type and like behavior traits to see if I do things like that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do. Goodbye. Thank you for joining the live. Whoever just did, I'm sorry. I gotta go. Goodbye. I love you for infinity.